From Lalate headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons Lalate.
Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. It's the top of the hour on Afternoons Lalate. The President of the United States could sign your $1,400 third stimulus check bill by the end of this week. A deal is brokered that sends it to the Senate floor for a vote. But the shocking news came out of nowhere. When Monday, Senator Elizabeth Warren formally debuted her wealth tax bill, a bill that could set up funding for an increase of SSI, SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits $200 a month for 12 months, $2,400. How will it work? Meantime, huge news about your fourth stimulus check package as Wall Street looks on as a major deal between Merck and Johnson & Johnson, two pharmaceutical giants, to get relief across this country, all brokered by the President of the United States. We have all the big, great news breaking right now. It's a huge hour. The final hour on Afternoons Lalate starts right now. A $1,400 third stimulus check could be landing in your bank account right away. That's item number one. Item number two, the vote is in the Senate. Number three, the president brokered a deal this morning to get a quick passage of the bill. That's number four. Number five, a demand that the next stimulus bill have reoccurring stimulus checks in there. Otherwise, Democrats won't support it. But that's coming up in the video right after this one, in about 30 minutes from now. But this video is about this person, Elizabeth Warren, and her shockingly great development. That's for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, $200 a month. And this is a big day of Afternoons Lalate. How are ya? Boy, there's so much happening. Two more recordings, this one and the one after this one. The one after this one, I'm going over that multiple stimulus checks. I'll be going over what's happening on the Senate floor right now. But this recording is about this huge standalone bill development that impacts SSI and SSDI. Wow. This is huge. If you've not hit that subscribe button, hit it right now. Hit that subscribe button. If you've not become part of this family, this channel's on fire. The last 3 days have been the three biggest days of this channel in 3 weeks because everyone is just excited about all this great, huge news. The passage of the bill about to unfold, $1,400 third stimulus check bill, the multiple stimulus checks being pushed in the fourth stimulus package. More about that coming up on the video right after this. And then this news from this person, Elizabeth Warren. What's going on? During her campaign for president in spring of 2020, a year ago this month, she proposed a lot of things. And among them was the first time you heard that $200 a month on top of your SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits for 12 months. Also, up to a 20% increase, lifetime, and a new benchmark different than COLA. That would be CPIE. That was the first time you heard it. It was on her campaign for president in the spring of 2020. Critics said, how are you going to pay for it, Senator Warren? She said, give it a little time, I'll explain. Then she debuted another plan, another idea. They said, how are you going to pay for that one? Give it time, I'll explain. There's Timothy with the super chat. How are you, Timothy? And she continued to debut plans, and they kept on asking, how are you going to pay for it? Now, when she debuted this plan for SSI, she had a bill for it. She had a bill for it, and she introduced it to the Senate floor, and she put it there. It was Mitch McConnell in charge at the time, so it was never called for a vote. But so they asked her, how are you going to pay for it? She said this: the standalone bill of a wealth tax. That's how she would pay for it. And remember, Elizabeth Warren was once considered for your Treasury Secretary position under Joe Biden because of the way she was going to generate income for the federal government. This is what she said. We're going to tax the super rich to pay for these programs. And those taxes would generate $2.75 trillion over 10 years. Thank you, Alicia, for the super chat and the dancing bear. $2.75 trillion over 10 years. Now, you and I know that SSI and SSDI does not need $3 trillion to fund it. That's why she's using this to generate a lot of money for a lot of different things. Maria, thank you for becoming part of this family. Everyone welcome Maria for becoming a Purple Hawk. If you not become a member, you might wanna. Why? Because you'd actually see a copy of what happened on Monday. More about that in a second. You'll see the actual bill. So she actually introduced a bill for SSI last year in March. It expired, but the bill was paid for with this: a wealth tax. Lisa, thank you for the super chat. A wealth tax. How does it work? It's very simple. Anyone whose net worth is over 50, that's $50 million, would be taxed 2%. And anyone whose net worth is over 1 billion would be taxed 1%. Very straightforward. It would generate $2.75 trillion for the federal government over 10 years. With that money, they would use the money for these items. So what did she do on Monday? What did she do on Monday? She did exactly what you would want her to do. She wrote the wealth tax bill and introduced it to the Senate as a standalone bill. And you have it if you're a member. You have it if you're a member. The wealth tax bill explains how she's going to pay for all this money. Now, it's not going to say anywhere in the bill the words "the money goes right to SSI." The bill is a way to generate money for programs which then get another bill. This is basically step one of two steps. She still needs to reintroduce her standalone bill for SSI and SSDI. Still has to do that. But this is the way she pays for it. And this is the way she promised to pay for it during her run for president. This is huge news. Let me go over her comments. Let me go over the exciting news. She said yesterday, if you have a fortune above $50 million, you pay on it. And if your fortune's under $50 million, you don't. Good for you either way. I think that most people rather be rich and pay 2 cents. It's not really fancy. It's just a tax on fortunes above $50 million. Yesterday, she said a wealth tax is popular among voters on both sides for good reason, because they understand the system's rigged to benefit the wealthy and large people and corporations. As Congress develops additional plans to help our economy, the wealth tax should be at the top of the list because it would generate huge revenue to generate. Lawmakers will catch up to the overwhelming majority of Americans who are demanding more fairness, more change, and more time for a wealth tax. That was yesterday. On Monday, she introduced the bill. On Tuesday, she spoke about the bill. It was not a mainstream story. It was not a mainstream story. Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary to Joe Biden, says we need to pass this package right away. We need to get this strong economy going right away. We seek a solution consistent with the Senate rules, and we're going to move as quickly as possible, said Speaker Pelosi. And the president sent a message out very loud and clear. Get this stimulus package done right away. Today, reaction came in to Elizabeth Warren's plan. That reaction came from her biggest critic, billionaire Leon Cooperman. He's a self-proclaimed billionaire. He would get taxed. He doesn't like the way the bill is written. Remember, he's a critic, but he likes the idea of taxing more wealthy people. The question we have to deal as a nation is, what should the maximum tax rate be on wealthy people? And he says, I believe in the progressive income tax structure. I believe rich people should pay more. Wow, this is absolutely huge. This is huge news. This is number one of 4 huge news stories across the board today. The other huge news stories across the board is this. The President of the United States got a call today in the White House from moderate Democrats saying, we want to modify the bill slightly. He said, I'll let you modify it on one promise. They said, what's the promise? Do I got your vote? Are we going to pass this fast? They said, yes. More about what that modification is. It doesn't concern you. That modification basically says all 50 Democrats will support the $14 stimulus check bill, all of them. We got it done. We're going to get a vote. It's going to be passed. The president will sign it as early as the end of this week. The money could go out as early as the end of this week. That is the big, huge news to start. That's item number 2. That's coming up in the video after this. Item number 3 is also coming up in the video after this, which is the shocker of the 4th stimulus package. The 4th stimulus package, people say, oh, why are we talking about 4th stimulus package? There's a reason why we're talking about 4th stimulus package. Why? Because 4th stimulus package was not supposed to be talked about until July. It was the reopening stimulus package, when America reopens. Not when Governor Abbott of Texas reopens, but when America reopens. Well, guess what? It was supposed to be July because July was supposed to be full vaccination month in the country. Yesterday, the president made the announcement. This morning, he made the announcement. Full vaccination 2 months earlier. Democrats heard it a mile away. You're opening 2 months earlier? Well, get ready, because we're starting to talk about that bill that's needed in May, 2 months earlier. Multiple stimulus checks, and that's what they're demanding. 11 out of 50 are demanding it, including Bernie Sanders. The rest of them are moderate Democrats. This is huge, great news. It's coming up in the video right after this, more about that development. But let me cut back to Elizabeth Warren, and let me cut back to everything else that's happening. What's happening right now is that the president made a deal yesterday, and that deal, I told you on Mornings LA, before it was formally announced. It was then confirmed later in the day. Remember, I tell you news before it happens, not after it happens. The announcement formally confirmed from the president was that he brokered a deal between 2 biotech giants, pharmaceutical giants, Merck and Johnson & Johnson. Days earlier, Johnson & Johnson got CDC approval, FDA approval for the 3rd vaccine in this country. But it's the only vaccine that is a 1-dose vaccine, meaning that people are done the moment they get vaccinated. They don't have to wait another 28 days to get a second vaccination. It's what's being called the workhorse, because this is the vaccine dose that can be done quicker, number 1. Number 2, it doesn't have that special shipping situation. It doesn't have to be kept in cold freezes and things like that. You could just ship it out and get a lot of people vaccinated very quickly. This is how you get the whole country vaccinated very quickly. It does have a lower number. I got vaccinated from Moderna several weeks ago. I've had 2 doses. It's absolutely wonderful. If you've not been vaccinated, please get vaccinated. Nothing happens. You don't start to grow a surfboard on your set. You don't start having blue vases behind you on the set. Nothing happens. No, it's just seriously, nothing happens. So please get vaccinated. It's absolutely wonderful. There's Amanda. Thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. And there is Charlotte in the room. And there is more. And there's Bonnie. And there is Linda Cole. And there's Mark. And there's Sonia. Hello, Purple Power. Well, the president said, he brokered a deal so that Johnson & Johnson's doses would be manufactured by Pfizer. By Merck. And that with Merck manufacturing, thank you, Gina, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Everyone welcome Gina to the family as well. With Gina manufacturing for Johnson & Johnson. No, Gina's not manufacturing. It's with Merck manufacturing for Johnson & Johnson. Then you would see the entire country vaccinated by May. What does this mean for stimulus? For stimulus by May. By May. Meaning, you know what I'm about to say. You got to do it by reconciliation. And that reconciliation process needs to start right away. Because it's not, you can't introduce a bill in May and get it done in May. We already know that from reconciliation. It takes time. I've been cautious not to give an answer about when we're going to be back to normal, but my hope is that by the time next year we're back to normal, says Joe Biden. The fight is far from over. Things may get worse again. We're now on track to have enough vaccine supply for every adult in America by the end of May. Well, also the question is, how soon we get the fourth stimulus package ready? Overnight craziness erupted as Governor Greg Abbott out of Texas and Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves said that, everything's reopening. Texas is open. Everything's 100% beautiful. Come back in. We're going to bars and getting drunk and getting on top of each other. That caused the CDC director to say, what are you doing? At the level of cases with variants spreading, we need to not loosen up our standards just yet. But the big news in this recording is not everything else. It's this person, Elizabeth Warren, that standalone bill. We got this recording and one more after this. The video after this gives you the big update about what's going on the Senate floor, that modification to the bill and why that modification of the bill is so important, and I'll have the big financial news that impacts your fourth stimulus that Wall Street is looking at, Federal Reserve Jerome Powell is certainly looking at as well. But for now, the big news is that we now have a Senate bill written by Elizabeth Warren on the Senate floor that would raise $2.75 trillion that could pay for SSI and SSDI $200 a month. That's the huge news. More about that news in just a second as I'm back with the continuation of this video. But first, here's a little bit of information about how to reach out to the volunteers if you need help with rent, utilities, food, and internet, eviction moratoriums, and similar. Stay with me, just 60 minutes back.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
From LA Late headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LA Late.
Thank you, Diane, for becoming a Purple Hawk member during the break. Everyone, welcome Diane to the family. If you've not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button on this channel right away. This channel's on fire because of you and me, the great news, the incredible breadth of reporting. This is technically the most advanced broadcast you're going to see anywhere. We are broadcasting live 6 hours a day, 2 hours for mornings, 2 hours for midday, and 2 hours for afternoons LA. Big updates about your $14 third stimulus check, big updates about your fourth stimulus package, and big updates about what's happening today with Elizabeth Warren. What a day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button. If you've not become a member, then you would have seen her bill. Her bill is a wealth tax. It would generate $2.75 trillion for the U.S. economy over 10 years. That money would be used to fund programs that people have wondered where that money is coming from. The Federal Reserve is not going to give us the money. Here's Jerome Powell. That money is needed as America looks to start to reopen. We saw the crazy news yesterday out of Texas, crazy news out of Mississippi. And that's not the type of reopening I'm referring to. I'm referring to things that Wall Street's looking at. More retail reopening, Kohl's and Target killing it on numbers. American Airlines up sharply today. Norwegian air cruises up sharply today. Meantime, big tech down 271 points. NASDAQ down 271 points, down 2%. Dow up 85 as it looks to get ready for the reopening of this country. And reopening means stimulus. It means fast passage of the third stimulus check bill. But it means a lot more. And a lot more is a standalone bill in the Senate that would forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. That's written by Elizabeth Warren. There's a $1,000 baby bill from Cory Booker that would give $1,000 for every child newly born. And then this, a $2.75 trillion generating system created by a wealth tax, introduced by Elizabeth Warren on Monday. That bill would generate close to $3 trillion for this country to use over the next 10 years. And that money would be far more than enough to pay for $200 a month for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, with a 20% increase approximately lifetime, and a new benchmark different than COLA, which is CPIE. This is the funding bill for everything she had promised. While she was on the campaign for president, she had made a series of promises about what she was going to do. She's the originator of the $2,400 of SSDI, not the president. She's the originator. She wrote it. She said it during the campaign trail. Then she wrote it during the campaign trail. Then she introduces a bill in the Senate. But they asked her, where? How are you going to get this money? Where do we get this money? Social Security's running out of money. Where are you going to get? I'll show you. Calm it down. Sit down, relax, breathe. I'll show you. I know how to do numbers. She does know how to do numbers very, very well. I'll show you. We're going to tax. Tax? You're going to tax America? No. I'm going to tax the super, super wealthy people who have a net worth over $1 billion, 1%, and 2% for $50 million. There you go. On Monday, she introduced the bill to the Senate. Wow. What? It's only Wednesday. This channel went live with this new format last Friday. If you're just finding this channel, take these videos, share them, tag the elected officials. One of the viewers said, Ron Wyden, for example, I said this in one of the earlier videos, I'm saying again, she sent me a message that said Ron Wyden wants to hear your input on stuff. Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat. He's the man who wants to modify FPUC. He was talking about modifying FPUC again yesterday. He wants to extend it longer, but he wants your input. Go on social, contact him. It's on his website, not Twitter, not Facebook. It's his website. He wants to hear your input. So we've gotten two things done. The third one we haven't gotten done, the FPUC retro. Can we still get it done? Reach out to him for the FPUC retro. Also for the $600, not $400. That's something he wants. He also wants to tie it to unemployment numbers. I love that as well. So reach out to him. This video is about the SS200. Take the video, share it on social media, tell everyone on Facebook, tell all your friends. This is how you get SS200 approved. Now, I'll certainly admit that this bill could get modifications 1,000 ways. When you're talking about taxing people, there's a lot of ways to tax them differently. So there's a lot of different ways we could change these things. Or not me, but the senators, when we're talking about how to tax people. But ultimately, you want to make sure that the money is used exactly for the purposes delineated, which is the SSI and SSDI. So take this video and share it on social media. Then, the video right after this, the final show, live show for today, because on a shorter schedule today, the final show right after this one will give you the big update about your $14 third stimulus check, the Senate vote, the floor, the fourth stimulus, the brokering of a deal, for multiple stimulus checks. Yes, you are hearing that right. Multiple stimulus checks. I really don't care what Mitch McConnell does. Mitch McConnell literally has nothing that he could procedurally do anymore. Let me give you the recap. There's 50 Democrats in the Senate, and there's 50 Republicans. They need all 50 Democrats to vote in favor of the $14 stimulus check. And they're going to get it because of a deal this morning. The tie-breaking vote is from this person, VP Harris. So what was the deal this morning? What was that call this morning? This is just insanely great news as America awaits this arrival of this $14 stimulus check from across the country. I'm back in just 3 minutes from now with the continuation and the final recording of Afternoons Lalate. Stay with Lalate for more.